Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in his gospel, brother, from understanding of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the spirit. It's a post I came across on a book. It says Virginia mother kidnapped and killed after trying to leave the Black P. Stone gang. 5 gang member plead guilty and chilling execution, which if anybody knows about the Black P. Stone Nation, which started off, I believe, roughly in the 1960s, which was called the El Rukns, okay, which was pretty much a faction that was in league with the vice lords at that time, because you had gangs that was supposed to be started to protect neighborhoods and to protect women and children and provide goods and community outreach to these neighborhoods, sort of like the Black Panthers. But all these gangs are rooted in Masonic and demonic roots, while some gangs outwardly pray to the devil and worship Satan. Okay, but this gang called the Black P. Stone Nation, which was the El Rukns, the Black Stone Rangers. Then you had you got different factions of this particular street gang, and I know about them. I'm very familiar with this particular one because coming out of Chicago, had a lot of homies and shit like that, and they actually claimed this particular gang, so to speak. And I'm trying to say it in a more tranquil way, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't put what we used to do, in certain things of that nature. But I'm very familiar with this particular gang, as it originated in Chicago. You had the Black Stones, you had the Vice Lords, the BGDs, which branched off, became the Gangster Disciples and the Black Disciples, which it was called the Black Gangster Disciples. And then out of the Black P. Stone, you had what they call the MCs or the Mickey Cobras, which ain't nothing but stones. You know what I'm saying? They all ride under what they call the People's Alliance, which is the 5-point star, which is a pentagram. Okay, so it says Virginia mother kidnapped and killed after trying to leave Black P. Stone gangs, which, this is wickedness. All right, because I remember back in the day, they used to have like these gang initiations, and they used to send us these papers home from school telling us to avoid large crowds because they're beating people up in order for them to join gangs, which I've never seen any of that ordeal walking to or from school. But nonetheless, it was real because Chicago is shrouded in corruption and gang violence, which is all set up through the elites. But this is a 10-minute video, which I'm going to play some of it, and we'll get a couple of precepts, because this ain't nothing more but modern day Baal worship, with these street gangs and the Bloods and the Crips. And, Jake is gravitating towards these ordeals because, in fact, Jake always wanted to be a part of something, which proves that they're Israelites, man. Okay, but there's a destruction for people that's living this particular lifestyle, because even in Chicago today and the likes of LA and cities throughout the Midwest, you got Jakes that's still into gangbanging, man. Like, go to Chicago and wear your hat a certain color, a certain way, or if you break your hat off to the left or right, you be ready to catch a case, man. All right. I remember a while ago, I think I was 19 years old. I was on my way to work. I got into a fucking fight with some niggas, all because I had a red and black Chicago Bulls hat on. Because the area that I had to go through was full of gangster disciples, and everybody knows that Vice Lords, Black Stones, and gangster disciples, the gangster disciples, they don't fuck with Vice Lords or Black Stones or Moes. They call them Moes, or the Black P. Stone Nation. And I end up getting into it with these niggas all because the hat I had on, it was red and black. Because, that's a Chicago color, Chicago Bulls hat. That's just a Chicago color, red, black, and white. But I ain't gonna lie, I was being simple too, because I had my shit kind of broke off to the left. You know what I'm saying? The shit Jake do, simple shit, young. And them niggas, they ran up on me. I was like, oh shit, like I wasn't expecting. I'm trying to go to work. And them niggas ran up on me, man. And then, shit, it went down from that point. But that's the type that, but that goes back to them curses, man. All right. While this doesn't surprise me, Kidnap trying to leave the Black P Stone gang, which that whole initiation in and blood out. People that's really into that shit is real. It's like the mob almost. Like you try to leave the mafia, it's blood in, blood out. You know. So anyway, I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of this video, and we're gonna get a couple of precepts because Jake is wicked. Our people are wicked as all hell. And the fact that you still have Jake that's in that gang banging spirit, even Israelites that claim to be men in the Lord, that's representing Crip and Hoover, that's not the vibration we supposed to push in this thing. You see? So if anybody's in that spirit, in that camp banging spirit, that gang banging spirit, we pledge allegiance to Hoover. Hey man, fuck all that shit. That's wickedness. Okay, you supposed to pledge your allegiance to Yahweh Bashim and Yahweh Shai. And you wonder why you have all types of hell that comes into your life, man. All right, so anyway, let's play a couple of minutes of the video and get a couple of precepts. I found this kind of disturbing, but here we go.
They don't let the Blackstones through the door. You know we had to do one for the nation.
You see that 5-point star? That's a pentagram. And these simple ninjas, they don't even realize, and a lot of them know they're wicked. A lot of them know they're just inherently evil. But you ask these niggas, do you believe in God? Oh, yeah, I believe in God. I believe in, which the average vice lord or Blackstone really embrace Islam. Okay, they really believe in that Allah's God type shit. They don't eat pork. They get locked up, then they have to go back to their traditional roots to Mecca and praying and face the east, which all that, praying and face the east is scriptural. But a lot of these niggas, they go and they adopt that religion. Like most of these guys that's so-called OGs that retire from the gang life, they become Muslims, man, because of this religion, so to speak, which proves that they're Israelites because they try to trace it back to some spiritual roots, which is wickedness at the end of the day. But Pete.
Let the Blackstones through the door. They don't let the Blackstones through the door.
It's in mourning tonight after a runner found a Richmond mother dead in York County this past weekend.
Story out of York County. At least 4 of the 5 people charged in the death of a Richmond woman could face federal murder charges.
Her boyfriend said the 3 women and 2 men showed up a little later with a gun and took Mitchell away from her home. He said that's when he crawled out of Mitchell's window to escape the group and called 911 when he saw them drive away in a car. Mitchell's boyfriend told investigators 3 women and a man assaulted Mitchell at her Richmond apartment shortly after midnight on May 6, saying they tried beating her out of the gang, meaning she would no longer be a member.
I believe the immediate response was fear that this case was not going to be prosecuted, and I want everyone to know that that was never the case.
All I keep thinking is that I wish I could have been there with her to protect her.
Recently, a Virginia mother sought to leave the gang life, only to quickly discover the harsh reality that in many gangs, there's one way in and one way out. Unfortunately, this principle applies to a number of gangs. However, some have questioned her true motive to wanting to leave. Her boyfriend at the time had made 2 claims to authorities that sparked speculation about her intentions. Perhaps both perspectives had some truth. Today we look into the life of a young mother who aimed to start a new life, but faced a brutal fight that left her shot 8 times in the woods, wearing only her shoes and no bra. Now 5 gang members were initially arrested by the state, but the charges were dropped, which we'll later talk about in the story, only to be rearrested by the feds. So fam, we'll explore this chilling story, discuss those who involved with the gang, and cover a recent federal sentence that occurred the 2nd week of February of 2025. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. On May 6, 2023, at around 6:30 a.m., a resident of York County, Virginia had called 911 after identifying what appeared to be a person laying in the woods off Old Williamsburg Road. York Sheriff's Office had responded to the complaint and discovered a deceased black female laying in the woods. That woman was later identified as 26-year-old Tyosha Mitchell, a mom of 2, who was also allegedly a part of the gang life. Now she would later be identified as TM in this story in this indictment. Now TM also was known to have an apartment located on Bethel Street in Richmond, Virginia. The Sheriff's Office had collected 14 shell casings from the scene. Now TM suffered from 8 gunshot entry wounds. According to the medical examiner, TM's cause of death was determined to be multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner of death was found to be homicide. Now, at that point, the sheriff's office initiated an investigation into the homicide, interviewing friends and family members of TM. They also managed to get business surveillance, resident surveillance, and TM social media accounts. Also, TM's apartment search warrant. Now, the sheriff's office managed to get footage from outside TM's apartment on the evening of May 5th, 2023 through the morning of May 6th.
And that's why we tell you that gang culture shit is wicked, man, because it comes nothing with death. It's wickedness, man. And the Lord warned us about the altars of Baal and why he told us to put an end to the Canaanites and their particular deities and their gods, man. So this is the book of Exodus 34. And I'm going to start at verses 9. It says, and he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Lord, let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us. For it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance, man. Okay, because Jake is very hard-headed and bull-hearted, and when Jake put their mind to something, they give it all, especially in wickedness. And this is why I say that my people are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Because when Jake takes off in wickedness, that's where he thrives at. And it says, and he said, behold, I make a covenant, which a covenant is an agreement, okay, like a marriage. It says, and before all thy people I will do marvels, such as has not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation, and all the people among which thou art shall see the work of the Lord. For it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. So the Lord showed us miracles. He showed us particular ordeals to when he delivered us out of Egypt, man, to show you that he was with us. And what did Jake do? And it says here, observe thou that which I command thee this day. But behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite and the Canaanite, okay? And that's where a lot of this shit come from. It says, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite, to take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. And Jake has made covenant with the heathens, man. And this is why Jake is into all types of heathenism, okay? Outside of gang culture, Jake is into the black consciousness community. You know, Jake is into Christianity. Jake is into gang banging. Jake is into the worship of the stars, okay, the worship of the Queen of Heaven. Jake take everything and run with it. Jake believe a black woman is God, and the list goes on. But it reads, it says, but ye should destroy their altars and break their images and cut down their groves, man, all right? And you notice with those groves, like they go and they high altars, they places of worship. Okay, they altars of Baal. Like, matter of fact, let's do this real quick. Altars and groves. Because the altar is basically like a place of worship to Baal. Look up groves in the Bible. See what it says here. Because Jake, what they did, they'll go and worship the Most High and worship heathens in secret. Okay? It says, by a grove, we understand a plantation of trees around a spot in the open air set apart for worship and other sacred sacrifices, and therefore around or upon let's go here. Around or upon, hold on. Tree around a spot in the open air set apart for worship and other sacred services, and therefore around or upon the high places which were set apart for the same purposes, man. Okay? So basically, Jake was worshiping these gods in secret. Okay, that's why when you go into the book of Ezekiel, he said, Son of man, turn thy face to the north, and what dost thou seest, man? And he saw Jake secretly worshiping these deities. And it's no different with this gangbanging culture shit, man. Right? And this is why niggas are all wrapped up in this way of life. You know, because with gangbanging, it comes murder, extortion, execution, grape, drug dealing, all wicked acts, man. And the Lord commanded us not to do that. All right? But it says here, but thou shalt destroy their altars and break their images and cut down their groves, for thou shalt worship no other gods, For the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. Okay, so the Lord is jealous, man. So he's not happy to see our people involved in this type of wickedness, man. And this is why a lot of you jakes and gangs, man, you end up getting executed or you end up going to prison for life. And prime example, how you beat somebody, I guess it's blood in, blood out. So basically, that was her ritual. They had to beat her ass out of the gang to the point it killed her. Okay, with you women, man, you got women that's all into that gang culture shit. Because see, Keisha, she like wicked niggas. You know? But it says here, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go and horn after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods. And one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice, and thou take of their daughters unto thy sons. It says, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go on a whoring after their gods, man. So that's what it boils down to. So all these gangbanging jakes that's into these cultures and shit like that, this is all it is modern day Baal worship. You know, that's why the Lord said, around my people found wicked men. They catch and they, roughly paraphrasing it, they catch men and they trap men as in a snare. All right. So this is the book of Jeremiah 7. And I'm going to start at 6. It says, if you oppress not the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, and shed not innocent blood in this place, neither walk after other gods to your hurt, then I will cause you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave to your fathers forever and ever. But behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit. All right. But will ye steal, murder, and commit adultery? And that's gangbanging. All right. Because in gangbanging, there's thievery, there's robbery, murder, adultery. Sometimes the chick got to get past. Look, to say if you got a woman and y'all in a gang, they got to have their way with your woman. And you got to let her run through the set, bro. You know what I'm saying? The homies got to get a piece of your woman. So if you got a bad chick and you want to join the gang, they got to all have sex with your woman, you know, which totally turns her out. And this is the result of it. And it says, and swear falsely, and to burn incense unto Baal, and walk after other gods whom ye know not, and come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered to do all these abominations. Okay, because it's an abomination unto you. How about Shimi? How shy, man? So that's wicked as all hell. All right. Let's go to Isaiah the 51st chapter, because that's what it boils down to, man. All right. So you got jakes that's into this lifestyle, man, friends in the world. You got to let them jakes be. Okay, you can't be around your old homies in the hood and going back and shaking up certain gang shakes, man. Like me personally, like when I go back to, you know, the city that I'm from, I purposely try to avoid certain people that I've once known. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, you know what I'm saying? It ain't, it's just for their fucking sake. You know what I'm saying? And just so I don't have to even have to be around them dudes, because we have nothing in common. You know, you got guys that still call you by your street name. Like, man, don't call me that shit no more, man. Because ultimately, when you come into this truth, this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, you are a renewed man. Okay, this is why the Lord said that he's going to wash away with the, you know, the purifying of the word, the washing away with the word, man. Because it's the word that purifies your mind. That's the real baptism. Right? It ain't dunking you in no bleach water, man. Because you got plenty of jakes that go get baptized in church, but yet they throwing up GD that same goddamn Sunday afternoon and eating pork and all types of wickedness. So that water baptism shit is all bullshit when it's not shrouded in faith. All right, which the water baptism is really spiritual. It's really symbolic for really being washing with the word, because it's really the words that purify your mind, because you have to get into the word. Okay, you could jump in a bathtub full of bleach and still be a nigga. All right. So this is the book of Isaiah 51:20, and it says, and thy sons have fainted, and they lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. And that's talking about this gang culture. You know, Jake be posted up on a block. You know what I'm saying? They look at you funny. You know, you drive a certain vehicle, or you going out there to see a chick. And a lot of Jakes, they deal with chicks in rival gang neighborhoods and wonder why when they come around and see that chick, them niggas end up giving them what they call a pumpkin head, man, because them gangbangers are popping your chick, man. You know, and there was a scene on a movie called The Wash with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre when they was going to pick up them two hood rats. Basically, them niggas up the strap on Dr. Dre, and that nigga Snoop Dogg like, man, who them niggas just up the strap on you just now? Like, they was looking at him like, look, what are you doing around here? All types of mean mugging looks and all types of stuff, man. But if it was a so-called white man, Jake wouldn't have that same energy towards him. You know, if I've witnessed it, I've seen it. You know, Jake have different energy towards their own kind. But it says, thy sons have fainted, and they lie at the head of all the streets. That's the corner, what they call them Jakes that be on the corner. As a wild bull in a net, and they're full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy power. Yeah, man. Okay? And that's the spirit that these Jakes are in. So this doesn't surprise me with this young lady being put to death the way she was. And really, she brought it upon herself because with the simple fact, you know, she shouldn't have been involved in that anyway. But that comes from a lack of parenting, misguidance, all types of shit. You know?
2023. And at 1:08 a.m., May 6, 2023, a dark colored sedan with a broken right tail light had arrived at TM's residence. The footage also revealed that at 1:14 a.m., 4 subjects exited the sedan and walked towards the victim's residence on Bethel Street. At 1:38, multiple subjects departed the area in the dark-colored sedan with the broken tail light. At 2:28, the dark-colored sedan with broken tail light had returned. After parking, 5 individuals exited the vehicle and approached TM's residence. But here's where things get crazy, because TM's boyfriend had jumped out the window on her. At 2:34 a.m., 5 individuals and TM had departed the area in a dark-colored sedan with a broken tail light, while at the same time a separate individual appears to have fled the area after jumping from a second-story window of TM's residence. Investigators identified the sedan as a black Hyundai Sonata. The car had Virginia plates, ending in 9340. That car was registered to a woman named Donisha Goodman, aka Lady Henny, and at that point, Goodman had a warrant for her arrest. The next day, May 7, 2023, she was stopped by the Norfolk police at around 5:30. According to the police report, she had a traffic stop with a man who was driving, who later turned into a witness who we'll later identify in this paperwork as co-conspirator 3, alongside Goodman and another female identified as Akia Jackson, aka Dominant. The sheriff's office obtained and executed a search warrant for the sedan. According to the report, among other items found in the vehicle were shell casings matching the night of the scene where TM lost her life. Also, multiple cell phones and a black face mask. Now the man that snitched, he was arrested May 10th, 2023, and officers found the firearm on his waistband. Hezekiah Carney, an alleged leader of the gang. The investigation team then had a search.
Let me show you how they jig, because the nigga got the name Hezekiah. Like, niggas is wicked, man. But that's Jake for you, man. It proves that this is our people. Jeremiah, matter of fact, Jeremiah 5. And the start of verses 26. It says, from among my people are found wicked men. Okay, it says they lay wait as he that setteth snares, and they set a trap and catch men. Yeah, they entice you with the gang shit. Oh yeah, you have a brotherhood, you're gonna make money. Anybody that mess with you, we gonna come and do. You're gonna get women. You know, you're gonna be the top dude. That's all enticing to a Jake that grew up with nothing, man. Like those housing projects in Chicago, like the Cabrini Greens and the Robert Taylors and Stateway Gardens and the Ickeys. Like those places were breeding grounds for gangs, man. And Esau did that on purpose because ultimately he wanted Jake to be taken by this culture. And it says, as a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore, they become great and waxing rich. Yeah, because you got some guys in that shit that make a lot of money, man. Like if you get up with some of them generals, man, like back in the day, you had Fluky Stokes, you know, guys like that. They were sitting on a lot of money, man. You know, had a great reputation. And it says here, they are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked, but they judge not the cause, and the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper, and the right of the needy of the people they do not judge, man. So yeah, man, Jake is involved in all types of wickedness when it comes to this street gang shit. All right, because peep this is the book of Jeremiah 11, and I ended after this. But it says here, 11:6, and it reads, it says, then the Lord said unto me, proclaim all the words in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, hear ye the words of the covenant and do them. Okay, so the prophets were crying out to Jake to repent and to come back into the law, statutes, and commandments, but Jake didn't want to do so. It says, for I earnestly protested your fathers in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Egypt, even unto this day, rising early and protesting, saying, obey my voice. Okay, and right now you got the prophets that's in a stead that's saying these exact words, man. All right, come out of that culture, repent. Call on the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And it says, and yet they obeyed not, nor inclined their ear. provoke everyone in the imagination of their evil heart. Therefore, I will bring upon them all the words of his covenant, and I will command them to do, but they did them not. And this is why the Most High is going to use the likeness of Esau, Edom, to come in and eviscerate you niggas, man. Okay, because while you niggas are planning on killing one another, Esau has militias out here. He's training in what you call it, in warfare, okay, tactical combat, hand-to-hand combat, while you niggas are sagging your pants and loading up switches, killing one another, eliminating your numbers. But the opposition is getting ready to take you out, man. Okay, you gangbanging niggas ain't gonna be able to do nothing with these proud Edomites. They gonna light your ass up from front to back, because you Jakes ain't got no goddamn discipline, man. Okay, you quick to shoot another Jake, but Esau coming there with some fatigues or with a briefcase. You speaking to this nigga. How you doing, sir? Scary asses, man. This is why I can't stand you, Jakes. This is why, hey, you gonna be taken out. And it says here, and the Lord said unto me, a conspiracy is found among the men of Judah. They go that word conspiracy, among the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So let's look up the word conspiracy, conspirator. Okay, which goes into Koshar, which means a conspiracy, treason, unlawful alliance. Okay, like the scriptures say, follow not a multitude to do evil. Okay, an unlawful alliance. Okay, but it says here, and they turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words. And Jake had little cliques back in the day. Okay, what the hell you think like the Zealots was, and the Sakari, and even back in Egypt, Jake had cliques, man. Jake always had little cliques. Okay, like particular Israelite sects and shit. Hey, even among the camps, man, we have different, I won't call them cliques, but you have different camps, man. Even within the camps, you got certain brothers that hang out with other brothers, okay? But that's not an unholy alliance. You just got certain brothers that click up, which I don't like that word click. But you got some brothers that link up, and, some brothers favor brothers over other brothers. Like, I prefer to be around this man than you because you're not necessarily my speed. You're not really my type. Though you a brother, but I prefer to be around him. You know what I'm saying? Each person resorts to his own type. All right? But it says here, which refused to hear my words, and they went after other gods to serve them. And the house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I have made with their fathers. Thus says Yahweh, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they should not be able to escape. And though they should cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. So the Lord is not going to hear you in the coming times when Jacob's trouble. Because all you gangbanging, like the scripture said, the mighty men shall fall by war, roughly paraphrasing it. Okay, that's the so-called mighty men of the hoods, is these gangbanging niggas, these YNs. They gonna cry like straight up women when all hell break loose because they not ready for it. Care how tough they are against their own people. But it says, but the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods, unto whom they offer incense, but they should not save them at the time of their trouble. So call them to Larry Hoover, King Neil, whatever the fuck, Jeff Fort, Chief Key, all them guys, man, that you guys pledge your allegiance to. Cry to them dudes, man. Cry to your gods. Cry to Allah. Because the Most High said he not dealing with you. But it says, for according to the number of thy cities were thy gods. And Jake, the blocks, man. One block, that block. Them blocks represents like little cities and shit, man. They have the little gang meetings and, they have the little secret shit going on, their little prayers, But it says, according to the number of thy cities were thy gods. Yeah, because like I said, in every city, every state in America, you got gangs, man. All right. It says according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem, have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. So, O Block, that's an altar. Okay. Motown altar. You know what I'm saying? That town, that block, that set. You know what I'm saying? Trefo, that's all different altars, man. Okay, according to the streets, because they all rep certain blocks. Like certain rappers, they claim certain sets. Like Lil Wayne, I think he was a Blood, some shit he claimed he was. All these different rap affiliation, like Bone, they claim East 99 and St. Clair. That's an altar, man, because that's where they did their dirt at. All right? But it says, so therefore pray not for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them. It says, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me with their trouble. Okay, so when all hell break loose, we're not going to cry for Jake because Jake did it to themselves. But anyway, I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Lord's will, you were edified. Until the next lesson. Shalom.
First wanted to go through their phone. And in the spring of 2023, Co-Conspirator 1 led a group chat with the other members of the gang, including Jackson and Goodman. In intentional communications, the group referred to their organization as affiliated with the Black Peace Stones, among other organizations. At that point, police realized TM's moniker was Beretta. They also found out the chain of command. TM was the known princess, and Jackson and Goodman was the first lady of the gang. In similar text from February 12, 2023, Co-Conspirator 1 explained to the group that within the rules of the organization, each member must pledge to kill anyone who opposed them. The message was this: I pledge my love and loyalty to Almighty Black Peace Stone Nation, which I will defend, uplift, and if necessary, kill anyone who opposed my set. Only do I fear God, and from this day forward, until the red sun touches the earth, I will ride for my brothers and sisters and bring honor to my Stone Nation as a Black Peace Stone member. It's my set before another set, BPS till my death. Also in that phone was conversations between Jackson and TM the day before she lost her life. At 9:58, May 5th, 2023, Jackson texts, "What's up?" At 9:28, she texts, "Yo." Jackson also texted at 9:28, "We on the way to your At 9:28, TM responded, "Okay." At 9:48, TM responded, "Where y'all at?" At 10:23, Jackson responded, "Almost there." At 10:43, Jackson responded, "Her tire got flat." At 10:45, TM responded, "What's T? Cause this shit out the blue. Don't beat around the bush. Say what it is or what it ain't." At 10:48, Jackson responded, "What you mean? What's out the blue? Fuck you talking about?" 11:04, TM responded, "Okay." The next day, at 1:15 a.m., Jackson responded, "Yo." At 1:16, TM responded, "You niggas was supposed to dub me last night?" Later on in the morning of the homicide, May 6, 2023, a phone number subscribed to the third party but associated with Co-Conspirator 2 text Jackson and asks, "Yo sis, let me see if my clipping arrived." Based on training and experience, the detective determined that Co-Conspirator 2 was asking Jackson to check whether Co-Conspirator 2 firearm magazine was inside the vehicle. Jackson, Goodman, and their co-conspirators used the group chat to coordinate gang activities such as meetings and duties. And in the middle of the morning, Jackson texts Goodman and co-conspirator 1, 2, and 3 in the group, "Do not text this GX by any means. Delete